They said it was just a tree, but it carried generations. This is the story of the last date palm of Fez. They said it was just a tree, old, in the way, replaceable. But for the people of Fez, this date palm fed families, shaded generations, and watched history pass. When the order came to cut it down, the city faced a question. What do you erase when you erase the past? The last date palm of Fez. In the ancient city of Fez, where stone walls held centuries of breath and footsteps, time did not move forward loudly. It whispered. It curved through narrow alleyways, brushed against carved wooden doors, and settled beneath the shade of courtyards where history still lived quietly. In one such courtyard stood a single date palm. It rose taller than the surrounding homes, its fronds stretching outward like open hands. Once there had been many palms in this quarter of the Medina. Now there was only this one. 16-year-old Yahya passed it every day on his way to school. He did not hurry past it the way others did. He always paused, sometimes only for a moment, sometimes longer, listening to the rustle of its leaves, watching birds weave through its crown. It felt older than the buildings, older than the streets. It felt like a witness. Yahya lived with his grandfather, Hassan, a quiet man whose voice carried the weight of memory. In the evenings they sat together beneath the palm, where the air was cooler and the noise of the city soft. Hassan would tell stories. He spoke of seasons when the palm fed entire families with its dates, of travelers who rested beneath it, of children who learned to climb by gripping its rough trunk, of years when drought came and the palm still stood. This tree, Hassan once said, resting his palm against the bark, has outlived arguments, governments, and promises. Yahya listened more than he spoke. The paper appeared without ceremony. A simple notice pasted to a nearby wall, printed in formal language. Redevelopment approved. Structure scheduled for removal. The courtyard was included. The palm was included. People read it, shrugged, and walked on. Progress, someone muttered. Yahya felt something tighten in his chest. In the days that followed, Yahya began to notice things others didn't. Women still gathered beneath the palm's shade during midday heat. Children played around its trunk. Birds nested there because no other tall place remained. The palm wasn't ornamental. It was functional. It was alive. Yet the city records called it obsolete. Not long after the notice appeared, Hassan fell ill. He moved more slowly. His breathing labored. The courtyard bench sat empty more often. One evening, as Yahya helped him inside, Hassan paused beneath the palm. If they cut it, he said quietly, they cut more than wood. That night, Yahya could not sleep. Yahya did not protest in the streets. He did not shout. Instead, he researched. He visited municipal offices. He studied old maps of Fez. He read Islamic teachings about stewardship of the land. He spoke to historians and archivists. He learned about Morocco's cultural preservation laws. He gathered evidence, photos, testimonies, signatures. Quietly, city workers arrived one morning with tools. Metal glinted in the sun. Ropes lay coiled on the ground. Yahya stood in front of them, not angry, not defiant. Prepared. He handed them documents. He explained calmly. He spoke of heritage, law, and responsibility. The workers hesitated. They had expected resistance. They found resolve. Neighbors gathered. Someone spoke of childhood, another of shade during heat waves, another of memories tied to the tree. The courtyard filled. Silence shifted into unity. Days later, officials returned. They reviewed the case. The project was revised. The palm would stay. It was designated a protected cultural landmark. Hassan returned to the courtyard weeks later, frail but smiling. Yahya stood beside him as the palm's fronds rustled above. The city moved on. But something had been preserved, not just a tree, a reminder that progress must remember where it came from. What we protect today teaches tomorrow who we were.